Hello?
It takes you through all.
BJ, BJ,
Yes, I'm here.
we've got 4 members right now with you. We're gonna wait probably just a minute or 2 more to see if our 5th one shows up. We can definitely still have the meeting with just 4, but we're gonna wait just a couple more minutes and then we will proceed with 4.
Perfect.
See him now.
There you go.
I'm gonna mute us back again until we are ready to go.
Works for me.
Evening, I'd like to call to order the February 9th, 2023, regular meeting of the Webster Groves Board of Adjustment. Tom, would you please take roll?
Yeah, Maren Millum,
Here?
BJ Papello,
Here.
Debbie Sahlberg.
Here.
I'm Tom Walsh and I'm here. And at the moment we are waiting, but he's not here, is Andrew Pottis. He's not with us yet.
So, like Mara was explaining, or the planning director was explaining before, it does take 4 yes votes to approve any variances. We can hear your, we can take the city's testimony and hear your testimony. And then if you, and then we'll go into executive session. When we go into executive session, if you would rather wait for another meeting when there might be 5, you can do so. But we'll go ahead and proceed. The order first, we'll have the city will make their case, then the applicant and any other individuals who are in favor, then anyone who's opposed to the application will have the opportunity to speak, and then we will close the public hearing. And that's the time that we would like you to say, okay, no, let's wait for another month, if you choose to do that. The proceedings are recorded, so please speak clearly and one at a time. We will take one petition and then a second petition, and then we will vote on your application tonight unless you choose to hold for, if we don't have a 5th member. Please try not to be redundant or repetitive in your comments. Tom, would you please read the powers relative to variances?
I will. When by reason of exceptional narrowness, shallowness, or shape of a specific piece of property as of September 20th, 1956, or by reason of exceptional topographical conditions or other extraordinary or exceptional situation or condition of a specific piece of property, which condition is not generally prevalent in the neighborhood, the strict application of the area regulation of this zoning code would result in peculiar and exceptional practical difficulties to or exceptional and undue hardship upon the owner of such property. The board is hereby empowered to authorize, upon an appeal related to such property, a variation from such strict application so as to relieve such difficulties or hardships.
Are we going to take them in order? Okay. Would you please read docket 2383 into the record?
Docket 2383, a petition submitted by Megan and Paul Robert Herbig for an application for variance from section 53.063 C.2 of the zoning code of the city of Webster Groves. The applicant is requesting a variance of 2.9 feet from the required 6-foot east side yard setback in order to structurally alter the second floor roof located 3.1 feet from the east side property line. The property is located at 32 West Glendale within the A3 10,000 square foot residence district.
Thank you. Mr. Bentrager?
The city would call Mara Perry to testify.
You want to enter in the exhibits first?
I can, yes. For the purposes of this hearing, the city would like to reflected in the record exhibits 1 through 10, right?
Yes.
1 through 10, including 10 being the PowerPoint that we are looking at in support of its case.
Ms. Perry, will you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you. Please go ahead.
Could you please state your name for the record?
Mara Perry.
And what is your occupation?
I am the Director of Planning and Development for the city of Webster Groves.
Are you familiar with the property located, or the residence located at 32 West Glendale Road?
Yes, I am.
Is that within the city of Webster Groves?
Yes, it is.
And in which zoning district is that property located?
It's located in the A3 10,000 square foot residence district.
What is the nature of the request? What is the nature of the request for that property tonight?
So the request this evening is for the applicant to get a variance of 2.9 feet from the required 6-foot east side yard setback in order to structurally alter the second floor roof located 3.1 feet from the east side property line.
And what is the relevant section of the code for that request?
So the code section is section 53.063C, which is the side yard setback in the dimensional regulations of the A3 zoning district. It states that residential structures existing as of September 20th, 1956, which are closer to the side property line than 8 feet, may be enlarged provided any addition is no closer to the side property line than 12% of the lot width at the front yard setback.
And would you please provide to the board the nature of the property as it relates to this request?
So this property, which you can see in this slide here, identifies the location of the house for Glendale, 32 West Glendale Road. The house is identified in sort of a yellowish color. The house was built in 1915. And as you can see here, the house was built 3.1 feet from the side property line. That includes a bump out on the side of the house. The request here is to identify, they would like to do an addition on the second floor of the house. The green line that you see here identifies the front, rear, and side yard setbacks for this particular district. Because the lot is only 50 feet wide, it is allowed to be 10% of the lot, which reduces the setback to only 6 feet on the side, requiring 8 feet on the other property line where the driveway is. And then it has the front and rear yard setbacks. The blue is of the approximate location of where a dormer is proposed off the back of the house. And that dormer would have to structurally alter the roof line and the wall that currently sits not within the setback on the eastern property line. So it's the 2.9 feet that you can see here that's being requested, that would so that they would be able to alter the second floor of the house. And then you can see here the blue box area that is showing the approximate location on the proposed second floor plan, where that dormer and roof would be extending out from the existing roof line. You can see the red line as being the proposed where their setback would be to make the entire house come into compliance, and the green line being the required setback in this particular zoning district. Also on the elevations that are proposed, you can see in the upper left-hand corner is the front elevation of the house. There is no proposal to that's going to change anything that isn't, they are putting a dormer, but that dormer is going on the western side of the front elevation, and that does not need to get a variance. And there's also an addition proposed on the western side of the house that doesn't need a variance. It's only the roof line for the expanded dormer on the back of the house that's structurally altering within the area of the setback. This is just one other item just to show the green is where the former roof line would have gone, and then the red is that sort of bump out area that's being requested. The overall area, as you can see, is quite small. I identified the entire larger dormer area, just to make it clear that that's the whole area that's being expanded. And here are some photos of the house that you can see. So the photo in the bottom left-hand corner, the elevation here is the wall that's in question. And then you can see on the rear of the house where the dormer is going to go.
I'm sorry if this is clear to everyone but me, but so we have the existing bump out. Is the addition going to line up with the majority of the house, or is it going to line up with the bump?
It is going to line up with the majority of the house.
So the bump out is the 3.1 foot that's needed. The actual construction is not quite, doesn't need quite as much of a variance, but we're measuring from the bump out.
Correct.
Okay.
We were wanting to make the whole house come into compliance because they're structurally altering essentially that wall, and that wall does include the bump out.
Okay.
I think on the bottom left picture of what we're looking at.
Mhm.
So it's within sort of the bump out is within like the line of the existing.
The bump
Roof on
out's
the
where
bottom,
the
like-
bump
Yeah,
out
so
is
the
red
bump
line.
out, or so
Addition, I'm sorry, on the top.
the addition on the top is in line with the main structural wall of the house. Essentially, I mean, it's going to a little bit over, but it's going to be in line. It's not going all the way out to where the bump out is.
Okay, so
It's
this
not-
existing home
Mhm.
already
Does
at
not
this,
need
at this point.
Right.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
correct.
So they're not encroaching or not going any further toward side yard. It's right in line with the regular roof. They're just making better utilization of their
Of the second
upstairs
story.
living
Can you
space.
show that roof line slide again, Mara?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so-
yeah, that's-
so right now, it's just that, okay.
Right now, the roof
Just
line
the
just
green.
comes straight down
Right.
here,
Mhm.
and there's already a little bit of an area in the back. I'll show in the photo in a moment. And then what they're going to do is they're going to bump out a dormer off the back,
Mhm.
which is going to structurally alter that roof line that, and a very small portion of that roof line goes into the side yard setback.
BJ, did you have any questions for Mara?
No.
City has nothing further.
Who's here tonight for docket 2383? You want to come to the podium? We can swear both of you in, or both, if both of you are going to talk. Okay, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Yes.
So please state your name before you start to speak, so we know who you are.
Sure. I'm Megan Herbig, and I think Mara did a really excellent job of explaining the whole project. That second floor would not be going over any more of what the existing house is. It's just better utilization of kind of some wasted space upstairs that needs to be made into some bedrooms.
Do you wanna-
Yep, and I'm Paul Herbig.
Do you want to add anything?
No, I think it's pretty clear.
All right. Does anyone have any questions for the petitioner?
No.
BJ, any questions for the petitioner?
Yes, I do. And I hate to raise this. Are you on Glendale Avenue? That's correct?
Yes, West Glendale.
Right.
So
next
you live
to-
directly in front of or behind, depending on your orientation, and Andrew Freeman,
No,
I don't know.
16 Clara?
nope,
No.
This is the house that's that's just west of Annunciation.
Yeah, we're next to the
Church.
we're
church.
right next to Annunciation Parish.
Yeah, and I so unfortunately hate to say this. I believe I represented your son on a traffic citation at one point in time. So I don't know if I can technically rule on this.
I'm not
I
sure
think
they
I
agree
have.
With you.
I'm not sure.
We don't
They
have.
don't
a
have
sign.
any, yeah, we have one.
They don't
child, but it's-
recognize you.
The-
They don't remember
These
it.
people's last name is Herbig, Herbig.
Correct.
They don't have. a-
So
Oh, his parents live across
my
the street.
parents
Oh.
live across the street, so you might be referring to them.
But it wasn't your
Oh.
brother that,
Are you?
or you that got,
Yeah, I don't believe it was me either. Was it James or Thomas?
It was James.
There you go.
That's his brother.
BJ, do you feel that you can, that you can rule on this even though you had his brother as a client? Fairly?
Absolutely. And it was, I believe it was James' son. It was just a traffic citation, but I want to note it for the record. I feel I can be totally impartial on this, but I just want it noted. So if the city attorney or who's representing the city attorney wants to rule on that, that's sort of their choice.
So BJ, just to be clear, you don't believe it's going to affect your judgment at all in this case?
Not at all.
Okay, and knowing what you've heard from BJ, do you have any issue with him being one of the members, the voting members of the board?
No.
Do you want to go ahead with the 4-member vote?
Sure.
Okay. All right, we'll close the public session. You can have a seat and we'll move to executive session. So I want to I want to start out with a motion for 2383, which we will not vote on until after we have discussion, so that we can start discussion.
So I'll make a motion that we approve the variance of side yard setback to docket number 2383.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second. Okay. Anyone have any comments?
Well, I'll just start with comments. The house in question here is already in the side yard setback. The petitioner is not going to enlarge upon that in any way, going to stay in the same sight line. Since the home was built in 1915, I think it said a long time ago. So it's in the side yard setback. And I think this creates a hardship, an undue hardship on anybody who wants to improve a home in such a situation. So that's my thought right there.
BJ? Do you
I
have any-
concur.
Maren?
I agree.
Okay,
I'll call for the question if
all in favor of docket 2383, please say aye.
I,
Aye.
All opposed? Please poll the commission.
BJ Pavello,
Aye.
Deb Salzberg,
Aye.
Maren Millum,
Aye.
and I'm Tom Walsh, to vote aye.
Your petition has been approved. Please see city staff during regular business hours for your next steps. Thank you very much. No,
No,
you
you
can go home.
can-
Thank you. Tom, would you? Please read docket 2384.
I will. This is docket 2384, a petition submitted by Kristen J. and Aaron M. Gunn for an application for variance from section 53.073 C2 of the zoning code of the city of Webster Groves. The applicant is requesting a variance of 1.6 feet from the required 5-foot west side yard setback in order to structurally alter the enclosed porch located 3.4 feet from the west side property line. The property is located at 437 Newport Avenue within the A4 7,500 square foot residential district.
Thank you. Mr. Bentraker?
Before we begin, the city would like noted in the record exhibits 1 through 10, including this PowerPoint, for the purposes of this hearing.
Ms. Berry, you've already been sworn.
All right, then the city will call Mara Perry to testify. Would you please state your name for the record?
Yes, Mara Perry,
And what's your current occupation?
Director of Planning and Development for the City of Webster Groves.
Through your position with the city of Webster Groves, are you familiar with 437 Newport Avenue?
Yes, I am.
Is that within the city of Webster Groves?
Yes, it is.
And in which zoning district is it located?
The A4 7,500 square foot residence district.
Can you explain what is requested by the petitioner this evening?
Yes, the applicant is requesting a variance of 1.6 feet from the required 5-foot west side yard setback in order to structurally alter the enclosed porch located 3.4 feet from the west side property line.
And which section of the city code applies to this request?
So this section is section 53.073C, which is under the dimensional regulations for the side yard setback. The minimum side yard setback shall be established by residential structures existing as of September 20, 1956, which are closer to the side property line than 6 feet, may be enlarged provided any addition is no closer to the side property line than 10% of the lot width at the front yard setback.
And can you explain to the board the nature of this property as it relates to this request?
Yes, so the property here, as seen in the survey, has a existing structure that was built in 1922. That existing structure is too close to the west side property line. In the manner that you can see here, there's a green box for the area where both the side and front and rear yard setbacks are. Due to the fact that this lot is 50 feet wide and in the A4 district, the 10% reduces the setback from 6 feet to 5 feet in this district. And the entire side of this particular house is located within that setback on the west. This is a closer view of it to show you approximately where the 5-foot setback is. And that blue box is the porch that is being proposed to be renovated. So it's an existing porch, but in order to do multiple renovations on the interior, the walls of that porch will need to come down with new walls being put in their place for the expansion of a number of elements in the interior. So the request is to be 1.6 feet from the side yard setback in that particular location. I've put up here the proposed floor plan that shows the approximate area again of that little section of porch, and what is being done on the interior is being impacted by this porch area. So again, the red line, it's not extending any further than it currently is. But once those structural walls come down, they're supposed to come into compliance. This is a proposed view of the rear elevation of the house. Again, showing that blue box area is where the existing porch is. Red line of the required, the location of the property, the green is the required setback. And then here's a series of photos. In the top right-hand corner, that's probably the best photo showing that porch area that is going to need to be taken down in order to put up the proper walls to structurally make the alterations.
Does anyone have any questions for Mara? If not, who's here tonight for docket 2384? Okay.
Yep. So Jenny, yep, there you're on.
Hi, Jenny.
Also,
So you're here for docket 2384. Would you please raise your
I'm gonna-
right hand? so
I'm going
you
to
can be
move
sworn
her
in?
over. Sorry, I'm going to move Jenny over as a panelist so you can actually see her. Hold on. Or maybe not.
do I have to join as panelist?
I was trying to have you join us. There we go. That way they can see you.
Jenny, would you please raise your right hand?
No, she just
Oh,
went on
Oh,
mute.
she
We
muted. herself.
swear you raised your
I have to take her word for it.
Yeah, I trust somebody.
Let me see if I can unmute her. Jenny, oh, nope. I tried to unmute her.
So she can't unmute, she can't mute herself.
I'm
There she
here.
is.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Jenny, would you please raise your right hand? Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you very much. Please explain the variance to us.
Well, the homeowner would like to just make that back porch that's already somewhat enclosed, just actually more completely enclosed. It's on, you can't tell, but it is on piers that has a plywood infill at the foundation. And it's got some serious deterioration underneath the floor. And so just to expand the kitchen, and to sort of make that officially enclosed and weather tight, we were proposing keeping the roof line in place and then simply removing those exterior walls and rebuilding them in the same spot. We're not adding anything into the west facade of the house will not extend any further than it already has, nor will the rear of the house extend any further than it already is. And then it already is situated on the lot. It'll have matching siding, it'll have a window and a door. And we felt that we're not, to make that piece adhere to the setback would maybe be a little bit, you wouldn't gain anything because the whole rest of the house is already over the setback. So we are hoping that you guys would approve us to just sort of continue what's there, but just make it more usable and weather tight.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions for Ms. Stockdale? BJ, do you have any questions for the petitioner's representative?
No, I don't.
Do you want to make any additional comments? Okay. All right. Well, thank you very much. So I'll offer you the option. Do you want to go ahead with a 4-member vote tonight? Okay. Is there anyone, I should have asked, there doesn't appear to be anyone else in favor or in opposition. So if we can have a motion for docket 2384, so we can start discussion.
So moved.
Go ahead.
So moved. A second?
Second.
Okay, so this seems pretty similar to the other one, only even less so of an intrusion into the neighbors. I believe that, you know, we have narrow lots, we have a house that's placed on the lot, and we have a very minor improvement that is not going to impact the neighbors any more than the existence of the house for the last 100 years already has.
I agree.
Yeah, and I agree too. It's a house that's built into the setback is the owner has a hardship. I think I called it a practical difficulty on the last one, but so I agree with what's been said.
BJ, do you have any comments?
I just concur.
Zoe, you wanna-
I'll call for the question.
All in favor of docket 2384, please say aye.
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 All opposed? Tom?
BJ Popello,
Aye.
Maren Millum,
Aye.
Deb Sahlberg,
Aye.
Tom Walsh votes aye.
Your petition has been, your request has been approved. Please see city staff during regular business hours for your next step. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thanks much.
Yes.
Like they're in
No,
custody
you're
or
good.
something.
Is there any other business before the board?
No other business before the board unless, the only thing I'd say is if you know of anyone who would be willing to serve on the board. I know the city council just did a training session for how to apply for boards and commissions. I think actually it was specifically for women to apply for boards and commissions. So I'm kind of hoping that maybe we might have some applications coming in, but
You
If
know,
anyone
the
knows of
Board
anyone.
Adjustment is not very romantic or.
I know.
No. I think it's.
Are you
a slow
kidding?
board to be
I
on,
get it,
but-
yeah.
But I can see why, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's okay. But that was my only thing. We do have 2 docket items. I saw 2 get turned in. Hopefully there weren't any more that got turned in, but I saw 2 before I shut my door to try to finish PowerPoints this afternoon. But we definitely have 2 for next month.
I don't know if this is true, but I have a theory that city staff is talking a lot of weird variances off the ledge.
I'm
And-
trying.
And I appreciate that a lot.
I'm trying.
So we only see the people that really do need relief from the zone.
I understand that. I think that's the reason we haven't had a meeting. Or fewer meetings. And
So I do have a question that's completely off board, but do we know what's going on with CJ Muggs?
Oh, it's a new property owner or a new business owner.
Yeah,
is
I
taking-
gathered that much. Are they changing names or what's gonna happen to it?
He will eventually, I think, change the name, but he's waiting a little bit longer before he changes the name.
Oh, okay.
He
I was
closed
just
on it.
curious.
He closed on it a couple weeks ago. He already has his new CUP. He has his liquor license, and passed all of his occupancy inspections. So all of that's been done.
Gonna freshen
Oh.
up the space.
I believe so.
Let's hope.
Yeah, it was just pure curiosity.
Great. Well, if we have nothing else, if you want to,
A motion to adjourn?
I so move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
See you in March. Except
Take
maybe
care.
from Maryland.
thanks.